see if this, 'cause I just unmuted. I want to see if this is working. You know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, this shit's just part of the game.
Yep.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Fucks up, but
Alright. Now, you still can't hear, because I'm on the... Hold on, let me hang up and see if I can get audio.
yeah,
Stop it.
hang up and the audio should be good. And
Alright.
just shoot me a text and let me know if you can hear it.
Alright, cool.
Alright. Alright. Jesus Christ, man.
How dope is that?
Alright, are we? I can't tell if we're good, if we're not good. Hopefully we're good. Let's see. I feel like the shittiest part is just like sitting and spending like all the time to get it like solid, and then the audio just goes out.
It happened last time too.
Yeah, fuck
That's
OBS. Hopefully we're
We,
good.
we should sue.
Yeah, straight up. Alright, are we good? Are we good? If anybody is on YouTube, please leave a comment in the chat and let me know if the audio is working. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. No more OBS. I don't understand it. I don't understand why it does this shit. But whatever. Let's run it.
There was Georgia, she was real thick, talking southern fried, too much to deal with. I had one out in the shot I used to chill with. Every time I'm with her, she be on some drill shit. There was Alabama, my country grandma, tried to let her meet my mama, but she got no manners. Yellow bone from Louisiana, she know when she speak that Creole, I don't understand her. One in Virginia, I don't go too much. She so down to earth, but she smoke too much. Got one in New York, but it snow too much. Plus she always acting like she know too much. My girl in Philly thinks she Jill Scott. She in her feelings, call her phone, I bet I'm still black. She talk about me to her friends, it got me real hot. Hold up, I think I'm gonna have to make a little stop. You know I've been all around the world, but there's nothing like California, girl. Why do I feel like I know you, girl? There's just something about California, girl. Are you from the city? I could tell. Are you wearing Fendi and Chanel? Take you shopping with me, might as well. You spend so much time on Rodeo. I got one in Vegas, still follow on the gram. I like how she flexes. I got one in Oklahoma, she got me stressing. Every time she hit my phone, there's so many questions. I got one in Indiana with a wings, but she not rich, she be scamming with her friends. They some tens, they be up on all the trends. She say it's other people money when she spends. You know I've been all around the world, but there's nothing like California, girl. Why do I feel like I know you, girl? There's just something about California, girl. Oh, you're from the city, I could tell. All you wear is Fendi and Chanel. Take you shopping with me, might as well. You spend so much time on Rodeo.
All around the world, nothing like California girls. I feel like I know you, girl. Something about California girls.
Sensational. Sensational. All right, so that is nobody let me know in the comments, but I will just send a quick shout out. Jules letting me know sound is A1. Uncle K letting me know sound is A1. My lady says the sound is not A1, so babe, it might just be your phone. Yeah. All right. So we'll figure it out. We'll get to the bottom of this. All right. So what I want to do on this. So that's finished version. That's like maybe I don't think there's a master on that one. Is there?
No,
The one that's on there? It's just yeah. So that's finished before master. I'm gonna pull up. Hopefully the audio doesn't fuck up, but this was my game plan, so I'm rocking with it. I'm gonna pull up the first version, like the very first one that I laid down. I just want to hear it, compare them, and yeah, let's see what we got. California Girls. God damn, bro. What California Girls 1.0, November 29th, 2018. Let's see what we got. And then we'll get into I think, is the audio still good? Yes? No? Hopefully.
There was Georgia. There was Georgia.
That's the drive.
Crazy.
Let's see.
Yeah. There was Georgia. She was real thick. Talking Southern fried. Too much to deal with. It wasn't nothing to shine. I used to chill.
Oh, this isn't even track.
Every
This is
time
like
I'm with her,
reference.
she be on
This
some
is like
drill shit.
the first
It's just gibberish, huh?
Grandma.
gibberish.
Me and my mama, but she got no manners. Yeah, yellow bone from Louisiana. No, when she speak that Creole, I don't understand her. Yeah, but I did, yeah, I don't go too much. Yeah, she so down to earth, but she smoke too much. Yeah, and roll too much. Yeah, plus she always acting like she know too much. Yeah, and if really think she Jill Scott.
All right, so as y'all could see, in terms of the recording process, that's where it started from. So it was just, to be honest, I think that's how I did it. Like, I know for a fact I didn't write it down like on paper, but just in terms of like getting the track to that point, I'll usually do that. Like, I'll usually just pull the track up if I like the beat. Just go in and see what I could come up with. So this was all like reference, like having a couple ideas for lines here and there, laying it down and just seeing how it sounded. So I don't even know what was the release date. May 2019.
Somewhere in the summer.
Yeah, it was like May 2019. So obviously y'all could see like from point A to point Z. I'm gonna pull up like a couple of the more recent sessions. I'll go from there, figure it out. Original voice notes, yes sir. I mean, shit, that's damn near a voice note right there. I don't even know if I did. Usually that's how I do all my shit. Like you could see, I'll pull it up. Let's see what we got. See if this will show up. Let me see. It probably won't. I mean, that's voice notes. Yeah, so that's usually how I do everything. I think for this, I used to have a studio back in Santa Ana. Los was a frequent studio goer. And I think that was the original one. The first studio in Santa Ana was where I laid down the first part of this, and then when we moved to the next studio is where I laid down the rest of it. So this one's got this track has got some history. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna close this out. Pull this other one up. See what we got. And I know the audio's, fucking up. I don't know what the video is looking like, so just know, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna figure it out. It's more than likely the software on the back end, but we'll stick to it. I feel like I knew going into this, even tonight, we may run into another issue, but beauty of it is I'm gonna keep rocking with it regardless. So we'll figure it out. Week by week, I'm gonna keep pushing with it, and we'll get to it. All right, so I'm gonna play. See which one this is.
There was Georgia, she was real thick, talking southern fried, too much to deal with. I had one out in the shot I used to chill with. Every time I'm with her, she be on some drill shit. There was Alabama, my country grandma, tried to let her meet my mama, but she got no manners. Yellow bone from Louisiana, she know when she speak that Creole, I don't understand her. One in Virginia, I don't go too much. She so down to earth, but she smoke too much. Got one in New York, but it snow too much. Plus she always acting like she know too much. My girl in Philly thinks she Jill Scott.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop it real quick. So as I'm like hearing stuff in here, it's just making me like think back to the process of the song, and I'm looking at like the files here. So this one was like, alright, so the song itself was done for a minute, like maybe like a month and a half, 2 months, like just in terms of all of my stuff laid down on the track. The production was the same, everything was the same. And then I think, did you lay down the guitar on there before Geneva did the vocals?
Actually, no. That was the very last thing.
Okay, all right.
We weren't even gonna put guitar on it.
That's true. So without, just to like give y'all a reference, right? So let me see. I'm gonna solo. So song was done, production was done, and I was honestly like in the headspace like, all right, let's just go ahead and drop it. It's good to go. And then I think we just all ended up linking up. Geneva White. I don't know if I said her name yet, but that's her on the vocals in the background. Crazy vocalist, super crazy vocalist. So I think we linked. We had like a couple write-in sessions, and um, I remember just pulling the track up and being like, "Hey, I got this. You know, I got this song I'm working on. It's called California Girls. I feel like it'd be hella dope if you could sing on it." And I think we were working on some other stuff too. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but she ended up laying down like layers on layers on on layers of vocals. And I like, so y'all could see before I play her vocals, I'm gonna pull up and just show y'all this. So all of this right here, this is all her, just separate lines, little riffs, little runoffs. Like this was all her. So we pretty much like just went through, did a bunch of takes. I think we were sitting for like an hour, maybe even two. And I just pieced it together like puzzle wise. So you know what you hear in the track is, you know, she didn't go through the song and sing it that way, which was cool. I wouldn't trade the way that the song turned out for anything. I think it turned out dope. But I'll play some, or I'll solo out all of her vocals just so y'all could hear what I'm talking about, because she went crazy. She for sure went crazy.
How many times did she sing the entire song?
Oh man, to be honest, I felt bad. Like I felt bad because it was like, it was a good, like, I mean, keep in mind, like, what's the length of the song? Maybe like 3 minutes, and you know, to sing a 3-minute song all the way through, like 20 times, 30 times. You know what I mean? Like, it gets crap. But honestly, man, like it turned out amazing. You know, I know on her end, it was a fucking hassle, but you know, I'm happy with how it came out. So yeah, let me see. I want to make sure I got all her stuff soloed out. Let me see. Come on.
Georgia.
So nasty. Like, so I'm gonna play. Those are obviously, that's just the beginning. Those are her vocals. I'm gonna play it. Try and solo out the verse with her vocals, just so y'all could see like how they mix in with it.
There was Georgia, she was real thick, talking southern fried, too much to deal with. I had one out in the shot I used to chill with. Every time I'm with her, she be on some drill shit. There was Alabama, my country grandma. Tried to let her meet my mama, but she got no manners. Yellow bone from Louisiana. She know when she speak that Creole, I don't understand her. One in Virginia, I don't go too much. She so down to earth, but she smoke too much. Got one in New York, but it snow too much. Plus she always acting like she know too much. My girl in Philly thinks she jills.
Okay, so y'all could see like how it's perfect, man. Like they blend perfect, and with the, you know, obviously when you drop the beat in on that.
There was Georgia, she was real thick.
Come on. I do want to play her in, because I remember when I think this might have been like the very last one that she laid down. The very end part right here. Hold on, where's it at? Let's see if I can pull it up. Where's that shit at? Oh, here we go.
You know I've been all around the world, nothing like California girls. I feel like I know you, girl. Something about California girls.
Come on. Talk to me. All right, so let me see. Burley, love you, dog. See, that's what I'm talking about. My people tapping in. That's what I love to see. Early stages. I know we're still getting this shit figured out, but I appreciate y'all sticking in there, cause I promise you one thing: it will not always be like this. We're gonna continue to improve in the public eye. All right, so that's her vocals, right? So she comes through. Um, Second studio, right, in Santa Ana. That was the second spot. So she comes through, lays this stuff down. I think I hit Los, and we always like, just in terms of like production. Um, I love like more of a musical sound. Los is super musical. Piano, guitar. Um, Damn near anything. This motherfucker could just pick it up and play it. So hit him, and I think, what'd you do? Just come through and just start messing around, I think, is how it ended up. Like, I feel like this whole track was dope because it was done before it was done, but what it turned into, I feel like, was something completely different. Like, you know, like I said before, the track was done with essentially like just the beat and my vocals. That's no guitar, no Geneva vocals on the back end. So y'all heard those. I showed y'all those vocals. I want to play the track like with the guitar and without, just so y'all could kind of hear the difference. Cause even, obviously it's I've heard the track plenty of times, but like listening back to it and like taking those pieces on and off, it just makes you realize like how much went into the actual track. So I'm gonna let's pull up these guitars and see. I think, oh no, not these. Where's all your guitar shit at? Oh, you know what? I don't even, hold on. Oh no, this does have the guitars. Okay, I'm tripping. I low-key thought that this one didn't have the guitars. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna solo out. I'm gonna play just the guitar so y'all could hear what I'm talking about. So it's just like, it's simple shit, but like if you listen without those same guitars, like peep this. It's just plain. It's naked. It's naked and afraid.
I truthfully thought this was the song. Like before Geneva was on the vocal, before Geneva's vocals was on the song, before you had me like just do a bunch of riffs on the guitar, I thought like, really? I think this song is good.
Same here, bro. Same here. But I feel like that's just like, that's the beauty. It's like this, man. It's like these fucking live streams. It's like, you think you got it right until something else jumps in the mix, and it's like, oh, that's dope. And I feel like with both of us, we've, just so y'all know, like me and Los have worked together like, what, fucking like at least 10 years, you know what I mean? Like I've known Los since I was like 13, 14. I'm 28 now, so yeah, like a good 13, 14, 15 years. And I feel like
it's been a journey, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we got further to go than we've come, but I feel like in terms of the tracks, it's like, it's always what could make it better. You know what I mean? Like I'm never tied down to, oh, okay, it's done, that's it. I'm not open to any other ideas. So I feel like having that way of thinking on a track like this, you said it. It's like you think that it's done, you know what I mean? But then you get that the real done, you get the real finished version, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, like this is what we're in the game for. So yeah, I mean, y'all could hear, I'll play it one more time without the guitars. It's like even the beginning just is completely different. even take off like, cause like none of this was there. You know what I mean? Like when I showed you, none of the Geneva stuff, none of the guitar, none of that stuff was there, and the track was literally like ready to go. Like it was like, okay, let's upload it, let's send it out.
There was Georgia, she was real thick, talking southern fried, too much to deal with.
Yeah, so it's like that's the thing. It's like it's not bad, but you don't know until you try it out. And obviously, like look at she did a bunch of takes on the vocals, but you did a bunch of takes on the guitar.
Yeah, it was
you know what I mean?
I think like 10 takes.
Yeah, so going through and like cutting these individual pieces up and just figuring out like what works in the track, I feel like that's the type of shit that that makes it dope. Let me see. Let me unmute this shit. All right, so I want to let this run one more time, and then I got a bunch of dope questions from people that I want to just run through on the Q&A and get into a little bit of that, and then I want to tap back in and just kind of talk about some of the marketing, some of the visual stuff, the videos that went behind the track and all that, and then we'll go from there. So give me 1 second. Hopefully I unmuted all this. Let's get it.
There was Georgia, she was real thick, talking southern fried, too much to deal with. I had one out in the shot I used to chill with. Every time I'm with her, she be on some drill shit. There was Alabama, my country grandma, tried to let her meet my mama, but she got no manners. Yellow bone from Louisiana, she know when she speak that Creole, I don't understand her. One in Virginia, I don't go too much. She so down to earth, but she smoke too much. Got one in New York, but it snow too much. Plus she always acting like she know too much. My girl in Philly thinks she Jill Scott. She in her feelings, call her phone, I bet I'm still black. She talk about me to her friends, it got me real hot. Hold up, I think I'm gonna have to make a little stop. You know I've been all around the world, but there's nothing like California, girl. Why do I feel like I know you, girl? There's just something about California, girl. Are you from the city? I could tell. Are you wearing Fendi and Chanel? Take you shopping with me, might as well. You spend so much time on Rodeo. I got one in Vegas, we just can't be. I thought I was playing her till she played me. I got one in Arizona, but she crazy. Don't know why she always wanna have my baby. I got one in the low, she in love with the crew. She pull up with the pack when she come to the stool. I got one in Montana, she had a spot with a view, and her sister was bad, damn I coulda had two. Then it's Texas, she so precious, I still follow on the ground, I like how she flexes. I got one in Oklahoma, she got me stressing. Every time she hit my phone, there's so many questions. I got one in Indiana with a beach, but she not rich, she be scamming with her friends. They some tens, they be up on all the trends. She say it's other people money when she spends. You know I've been all around the world, but there's nothing like California, girl. Why do I feel like I know you, girl? There's just something about California, girl. Are you from the city? I could tell. Are you wearing Fendi and Chanel? Take you shopping with me, might as well.
girls. I feel like I know you,
I had to
girl.
solo that.
Something about California
Yeah,
girls.
that's another thing you said.
Geneva White, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you're gonna originally leave that alone
Yeah,
at the very end.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, man. Yeah. Okay. So, audio wise, y'all got the behind the scenes on that. I really want to get into this Q&A. I wish, the audio wasn't fucking up how it is, but it's all good. All good. So, yeah, we'll get back to this. I got a bunch more. I want to show y'all like some of the video stuff, some of the visuals, talk about the cover a little bit, the artwork, and then yeah. So let's get into this Q&A real quick. Hopefully OBS doesn't completely shut down on us. Let's see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Switch it up one time. All right, so like I said before, if y'all ever got questions and whatnot, chat's open. I'm gonna be doing the same thing week by week. So if y'all got input, y'all got topics, suggestions, questions, things like that, shoot them. I feel like that's part of the game, is just figuring it out and going from there. You know what I mean? Like we'll work the shit out. I didn't expect it to be perfect from the jump, so it is what it is. But I appreciate. I did get a good amount of like some solid input, some solid questions and whatnot. So I definitely want to run through those right now. And then if y'all got any more or any input or whatnot, hop in the chat. Let me know. So let's see, numero uno, what we got? Okay, and I got them on screen too. So let's see. So, all right, first one: record a whole song during the Q&A. So obviously with the audio issues, I don't think that's going to be quite the possibility right this second. I would like to, like I'm open to it, 100%, but I don't like the audio messing up. So I feel like I'm gonna keep rocking with this. I'm gonna keep, playing around with stuff, maybe switch up the software. And if it gets to that point where, I feel confident in the audio side of everything, I'm with it, 100%. I don't see any reason excuse me, any reason not to. Let's see what else we got. Your recording process. So I mean, it's not really like set in stone. Like in terms of getting a song from like point A to point Z, I'm usually either like doing voice notes on my phone, like while I'm driving, or I'll sit, like I think with this track, like I pulled up the production, and just cut the mic on and just kind of like mumble till you get the lines right, figure out like that flow of what you want, what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, get that down, and just constantly revise until you got it. Usually, and I know this is like not the best way to go about it, but I really don't like punching in. So you could, and for those of y'all that don't know, punching in is like, you record a line, you stop, and then you re-record, and you punch in when that line ends. So I would say like, there was Georgia, and then I would stop the recording, record again, and then when it comes time for that next line, I would lay that down. And sometimes you could do it. I feel like it's a little bit easier with singing stuff, but I just don't like to do it in general. So if I'm not mistaken, like this, and you could look right here, all this red right here, this is the verse. So the whole verse, I didn't punch in. It was just all like one way through. Same thing with the second verse. And then if I if I mess up a line or I go back and I want to do something like a little bit different, that's kind of what like this would be right here. Or if I do a couple of different takes of the same verse and I like a little part better, I could always, I think, let me see. Oh yeah. So you could, if you peep it like this. So these were all separate takes of the same verse. So so it, as you can see, it starts to get like it gets crazy, but I feel like in terms of recording, I feel like it's all about that energy. And that's why I don't like to punch in, is because it's like your energy is different. And I'm sure the more that you do it, the more you practice with like punching in and whatnot, the better that you get. But I feel like there's no better way to match that energy than to just be on the same track and do a couple different takes. If you like another take, just right here, grab it, pull it up to the track. So with this, for instance, right, I could grab this and just pull this up to there. So I just hit that arrow and pull that line up to there. So it's literally like piecing the puzzle together.
What sounds right?
Yep. That's it. It's what sounds right. So I may get it all right in the first take. I may have a line, from a different take that sounds better. It's all about what sounds right. But the energy thing, like I was saying, I feel like is huge. It's like keeping that same vocal energy within the recording. I feel like is super important. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like recording process, that's pretty much it. It's just running through it that way. I'll always try and have more than less, to be able to work off of. So I'd rather have more takes and be able to go through and find what I want than to have less takes. It depends what I like come up with first in my head. If it's like the chorus that I came up with first, I might just lay the chorus down and leave it, try and come up with the verse. If it's vice versa, then lay the verses down, come back for the chorus. But in terms of vocals, like I always try and keep that energy right, even a whole different day. You know what I mean? I feel like even with like production and stuff that we've worked on, it's like when you come back that next day, you may still be like just as excited, but you don't have that same you just don't have that same energy. Like it's just a completely different feel. So I'd say like my number one priority is just getting everything knocked out right then. Like get whatever you got on your chest knocked out right then, because there's a high probability that you won't feel the same the next day and do it different. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do with a lot of songs though. Like a lot of times when I show you a beat, you go directly to the hook, because I mean it's the hook.
Yep.
And then for some reason you got the first verse down, great, we're good to go. But then you want to beat the first verse
with the second verse.
Yeah, you want to like I gotta upbeat this shit. I gotta make this better than what I wrote the first time. For
sure. And first verses are always easier than second verses. Yeah.
It's like a sequel. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
This has got to be better than the first one.
Yeah, I feel you 100%. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, like the biggest thing is just the energy. So same thing you're talking about with like the first and second verse. Like it's more about that, like making sure like whatever I delivered in like the first one, can I deliver that in the second? Like, is the track gonna lose steam as it goes? You know what I mean? Like downhill to the second verse. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully I answered that. If not, I'm more than happy to get into more depth. Let's see, what else we got? Will you marry me? Absolutely, 100%. Let's do it right now. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. I know who that was. I'll marry that girl. Most meaningful track you ever made. Love you and your music. All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you. Thanks for the love. most meaningful track I've ever made was probably Marley's song.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like, all right, it's a little weird because I have a, like, for people who know me and have like been following my music. I'm sure Wallflower, but I had a project like kind of before this span of music called Wallflower. Um, and it was, what made me think of it is like I was what the fuck was it? I was watching. Have you ever seen the Jay-Z interview on Breakfast Club?
There's been a lot of.
No, there was only like one Jay-Z interview on Breakfast Club. And they were asking him what his favorite album was, and he was saying how Reasonable Doubt was his favorite project because it took him his whole life to make that project. So there's no way anything could ever like top that project. And I feel like that's kind of like, in a way, how I feel about Wallflower. Is it's like, yeah, it doesn't align really with where I'm at right this second in life. But I feel like that was like a body of work that took my whole life to make. And that song that I'm talking about, Marley's song, was like, I damn near can't even listen to it. It's like it's emotional. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess I say that to say that's probably the most meaningful track that I've ever made. I'm actually gonna be over probably Monday. I'm gonna upload all of Wallflower to YouTube. So if you're tapped in, if you're subscribed, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna upload it all at once. I'll probably do like a track or two every like other day. But that'll be up there. I feel like I like wrestled back and forth with it. Like, do I want to throw this in the mix of my music that's up? But the reality is, it's like that project was like a huge part of me, and that song, even more. So yeah, good. Love the question. Love the question for sure. What else we got? Is that the same exact question? Where you been? All right. So where you been physically and mentally? Um, shit. Well, physically, I've been around. Mentally, I don't know, man. I think like over, and I feel like everybody will kind of understand what I'm saying. I just feel like over the past, like, what are we, September? What's September to March? 6 months? It's like 6 months, right?
About.
Yeah, I feel like shortly, like right in that time frame of, of when like all the COVID stuff started happening, it was like, I felt like things were like a little weird at that point, and then I feel like it just got progressively like crazier. Like,
Too many taps open.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yep, 100%. And I feel like, a struggle with me is like feeling like I'm staying locked in to the things that I need to be locked into. Feeling like I am just like doing enough realistically. And I feel like with everything going on, it's like, I feel like the COVID stuff hit, and it was like, oh, if you're not pursuing a second business or a second stream of income right now, like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like, man, like, I've been fucking depressed. Like, that's what I've been doing. Like, I just was not in like a good I wasn't in a good space, and I feel like I was seeing all of these people. I saw a bunch of people posting a song every other day, and posting a video every day, or they started this business and started that business. And I think like if you're genuinely in that frame of mind, more power to you. But for me it was like, nah, man, like I'm not in the right headspace, and I'm not gonna force these things just for the sake of forcing them. I mean, fortunately, at this point, I don't feel like that's the space that I'm in. Like now, if you were to ask me now, like where have I been up until this point? That's kind of what I like drifted in and out of. All the COVID stuff, just the all the racial tension, all of that, everything that's been going on. I just feel like it's like apocalyptic almost. Like it's like,
Telling me,
yeah, man, it's
dude.
like,
Freaking Thanos.
yeah, it's just it's been tricky. So I think I mean, I feel like the key is just balancing your energy, you know what I mean, and just thinking about like what really matters and what doesn't really matter, and just getting back to it. I feel like I obviously had a period of time where I was like off, quote unquote, but I feel like that's life. Like, you gotta have that balance, and it's gonna be ups, it's gonna be downs. At this point, I think I'm, obviously not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but I feel like I'm in a lot better of a headspace right now. I feel like just locking in, seeing progress in different areas, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So went through the fire to get here, but I definitely feel like I'm in a much better headspace now, considering everything that's gone on in my life over the past 6 months. So yeah, hopefully I answered that one sufficiently. There was another question in here that I want to. Nope, nope, no. Well, yep, but nope. All right, so somebody asked me. Somebody asked me to talk about the struggles, um, of staying creative and consistent. Um, and I thought it was a super good, not a question, but just that point. And I feel like it kind of ties in with what I was talking about, just in terms of like the past 6 months. Um, I mean, I think number one, you got to understand in terms of like creativity, like true creativity, it's like it's not anything that you can force, right? So you can't force yourself to be creative or to have like creative thoughts or or creative ideas, but I do feel like when you could tap into figuring out what gets your creative like juices flowing and what doesn't, then you kind of have a little bit more control over that. And it means different things for different people. Like for me, it might be taking a drive. It might be hopping in my car and driving around. For Los, it might be, taking a walk. But like it's understanding like, okay, and being in tune with yourself and realizing like, okay, I'm understanding that when I'm doing these certain things that are feeding like my soul, my energy and whatnot, that results in me being more creative. So rather than look at it like, oh, okay, well, what, how do I stay creative? How do I keep coming up with new ideas, different ideas and stuff like that? It's just about, think of it when you do have, wait until you get that idea, and when that idea does come, start analyzing, all right, well, what was I doing that led me up to this point? What was I doing that gave me that, like, that spark of saying, oh, like, shit, okay, like when I'm doing this is getting my juices flowing. um in terms of the consistency, I think that, I think in life, everybody does what they want to do. And like, it sounds super simple, but I feel like when you break it down, it makes a lot more sense. So it's like, if you're doing anything for the wrong reason, then you're not going to want to follow through and stay consistent with something, or to do this or do that. It's about like finding that in you, and saying, okay, like this is something I really want, and these are the things that I need to be doing in order to make it happen. I feel like that's number one. Number two is like, I feel like it was like this before all this COVID shit was going on, but especially since it's been happening. Like I said before, I feel like there's this huge like push right now of like, start your own fucking business, be an entrepreneur, follow your dreams, follow your passion, do this. And I feel like what that does is, it like, don't get me wrong, obviously, like, I believe in people following their dreams. I believe in people following their passion. I believe in people starting businesses. I believe in people being successful. But I feel like when it's too much of like a push, what you start doing is like backing yourself into a corner and feeling like you have to do things, instead of you feeling like you really want to do things because you're passionate about them. So I guess circling back around, to the point, or the question, in terms of like staying consistent, is just finding that reason in your own head, finding that why. Like, why is it that you're doing this? Are you doing this for you? Is this serving you every day that you're doing this thing? Is it serving you? Is it making you feel better? Is it feeding your energy, or is it depleting your energy? And if it's feeding your energy, you'll find it. And don't worry about the outside voices of, oh, you gotta be a millionaire by 30, you gotta be retired by 40, you gotta do, like, everybody is on their own timeline. So
it's easier said than done.
I know
honestly.
it for sure is easier said than done, but I feel like it's those you gotta constantly remind yourself. You know what I mean? You got to constantly remind yourself in terms of like staying consistent. Keep in mind, if a alcoholic could drink every day. You know what I mean? And why is that? It's really because and don't misconstrue what I'm saying, because I'm not a psychologist, but just in terms of like the want and desire to do something. So you could, if you were addicted to drugs, or addicted to alcohol, you could do those things every single day, no problem.
Routine.
Yeah. Why couldn't you do that with something else? The answer is you could. You could consistently do something else, something more productive. You just gotta want to do it. So once again, easier said than done. I know, 100%. But that's the thing, right? Is you just gotta find the why. Like, don't let somebody force your passion. It's like, it's your passion. It's not anybody else's passion, and it's your timeline. It's not anybody else's timeline. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you at the time that it's going to work for you, or it's not going to work, period. Yeah. So I think in terms of Q&A, I think that's all we got. Let me see. Okay. So let's get back to the program. All right. That was fun. So the last thing that I want to do, before we hop off here, is just go over like we went over obviously the audio, with California Girls, and like kind of how it got from point A to point B, and then B to C, so on and so forth. I feel like in terms of like the back end, it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to. Is like, obviously, when I drop this song, it's like all that the public sees is like a new song is out, and rightfully so. It's like that's what you're there for, is the music. But in terms of like the back end stuff, everything that goes into it, like the artwork, the videos, the marketing, the ads, all of that type of stuff, I just wanted to give y'all like a glimpse. I don't, I don't want to bore you with it. So artwork, my boy Garrett, graphic, crazy, graphic designer. I mentioned him in the beginning of the stream. So I actually have, I think I got it. Is this it? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna hold this up. So this right here, it's a little bit of a glare on it. So I know this looks hella crazy, and y'all are probably like, "What the fuck is this?" But so this was actually the original artwork. We were gonna go with this in the very beginning. So
For California Girls?
for California Girls,
Oh, wow.
this was gonna be the original artwork. So we, I mean, it's Graph's thing 100%, but like in the early days of us like working on tracks and trying to get like visuals together, this was like the style of what we were doing, or what Graph was doing, but what we were working on together for these covers. So this is, I mean, you could kind of see it in here, but this is literally like, all of this stuff is pieced together individually. And then I'm gonna pull up here just so y'all could kind of see the finished, hold on, pull that up one more time so y'all could see. So this was like the physical version, and then I'm gonna see if I could find the hell is this shit at? Where we at? Where are these files? Hang on. I swear I had this pulled up. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this up so y'all could see what I'm talking about. Where the fuck is this folder at? California Girls. Okay, that's not it. Man, look how many files are in here. Man, where is this folder? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna find it for y'all. Give me 1 second. I swear it was desktop. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Oh, this is it. There we go. All right. So let me see. Should be pulling up. There's a preview. There we go. All right. So that we pretty much went from this. Got the light on there, so it's a little tricky. So this to this, and keep in mind we didn't even use this. Like we ended up, obviously going with something different for anybody that's seen the cover. So final cover. This was the final cover that we went with, which I feel like was fitting. It's like, obviously this one's dope too, but I feel like in terms of what we did with the track, like this was fitting. I feel hella bad, but I don't remember this girl. Do you remember her name? I don't remember her name, bro. I do remember being hella hot that she didn't post the song when it came out, so that's probably part of why I forgot her name, because she doesn't matter. But yeah, so actually, hold on, let me pull this cover back up one more time. So yeah, a little bit different of a format, but like the process, like on the back end. Let me see, because I got some other So this was
Throw it back like replay. Most y'all won't be safe. I came from hard knocks. Ice that bring more knocks.
probably gonna get a copyright strike for that. So yeah, that was going through the. I'm gonna turn the volume down on these. All right, so this is Graph working on the cover. I don't know what music is playing, but we can't. We'll get a copyright strike. So you can even see right here, like that's the. And this is before all of it was done. We had the pictures to work with of Old Girl. We had like the format, had some notes of like how we wanted to do it. And yeah, I mean, this is obviously y'all could see that's how it came out. So super happy with it. In terms of like the visual stuff, I feel like, and Los knows, like any time we're like working on any type of track or release, I feel like the visual stuff is huge. It's like you want to have something to like support your efforts on another end. Like obviously the song could be incredible, but you want to have these things to like attract attention and just to get people to peep whatever it is that you're doing. So we did okay. So I showed y'all the front cover. This is the back cover.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it sucks, like, with the format now. I feel like you don't really see back covers, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really get posted anywhere, but back cover was cool. Venture, that's her name.
Oh, okay.
Venture. I thought that was her name, but I thought I was going to sound stupid saying the girl's name was Venture. But yeah, so credits on here. Santa Ana, California. Graph. Photography, Fernando Matamoros. Venture, additional production, Carlos Perez. Vocals, Miles Reinhardt, Geneva White, yada yada yada. Yeah, so that's the back cover. I want to play. I just want to play like a couple of the little animations just so y'all could see some of this stuff. And every animation for this, and if I'm not mistaken, pretty much every like release I made. So not to toot my own horn, but just to show you guys on the back end like what goes into these tracks when they're being made. Because I feel like it's obviously more than just the music. You know what I mean? Like it's more that goes into the back end. So this was one of them. I'll play this one with the audio. I actually love that one, man. Like the cover coming together. We got the vinyl too.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, this one was dope. Oh, that was when we hit 10,000 on Spotify. So, yeah, man. I mean, I feel like this doesn't just apply to music. It's with anything. Like just figuring out different ways of like presenting what you're doing visually. I feel like is a huge help. So for me, like, it's funny. I was just talking about this yesterday. Like, I remember to this day, like why I got into doing the visual stuff. Like, I hit up a friend of mine about, he had an animation for a song. I hit him up about this animation and I was like, hey man, like this is dope. How can I get one of these? And he shot me the dude's info that made it, and I hit him up, and it was like a 10-second like cover animation. And I hit him up, and I think he said like $100. And I'm like, hell nah. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out a way to do this myself. And like from that point, just messing around with like After Effects and Premiere, like getting to where I'm at now. Even like these aren't amazing, but going back and looking at some of this stuff now and seeing like, what I'm doing at this point compared to then, it's like that's what you need. Like you need a little bit more on the back end especially with music, but it doesn't just apply to music. So this is the last one I'm gonna show you guys. So this one, I believe, Graf's brother shot this, Carlos Cordova, and he's super dope. He does mainly photography, but he's super dope as well.
All around the world, another night, California girls. I feel like I know you, girl. Something about California girls.
Yeah, so as y'all could see, I like the static. Yeah, yeah. So he did the video on that. I did the edit. And yeah, I mean, song came out super dope. People enjoyed it. And yeah. I mean, I think just in terms of the full process, this was a dope one to show, like, everything that went into getting the track from point A to point Z. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, aside from like the very original, like, recordings and whatnot, but even then, like, we showed you guys the skeletons, for the song, like, before it developed into anything. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the track, I feel like that's about it. Let me tap in, see what we're looking like here. Yeah. All right. Well, so number one, if you watched a little bit of this, thank you. I know the audio was messing up. Super upset and disappointed about it. But it is what it is, man. Like, I feel like I enjoy doing this. Like, I enjoy hopping on and breaking down these tracks and, answering questions and just showing y'all what I do, on my end. I'm glad Los could be here. We'll figure out the audio stuff. We'll figure out all of this. Like, we're only on week 2. So we'll get there. But to anybody that tuned in for a little bit, to anybody that's still here, appreciate you. 100%. We'll be right back next Friday with another one. If y'all got any input, any questions, any suggestions, holla at your boy, man. Los.
I love you.
Yeah, man. We love y'all. That's it, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, love, and prosperity.